Full updated. My wife cheated on me with her coworker, lied about everything, backed up by her friend, then try. First story, my friends all revealed that they have slept with my girlfriend and shamed her after I revealed my plans to propose to her after 4 years in the relationship. My girlfriend just started crying and apologizing, begging to forgive her. My whole life is just shattered. Everyone betrayed me. I asked an admin if I could post this one up again. Thank you, admin, as many didn't get around to reading it. My messages kept asking about the situation, so here you go. This is a tough one and it's quite long, but I want to get all my feelings out and I'm quite comfortable in the situation. This post may anger some, and some people may think I'm right or wrong, but that's okay. I'll really appreciate your honesty. I've been with my girlfriend, 22, for 4 years now, and it's been the greatest 4 years of my life. She's the sweetest person I've ever met. She's hilarious, insanely creative, an artist, goofy, and just the happiest girl you'll ever meet. She's always smiling and very outgoing. She's so energized, and I'll admit it's sometimes hard to catch up with all her adventures, but wow, it's been so amazing being with her. My friends introduced me to her the summer we all graduated high school, and we immediately bonded. We're both into comics, anime, Marvel, DC, Dungeons and Dragons. We had so much in common that we just got super close very quickly. The fact we had so much in common made it easy for us to spend time together going to conventions, anime events, game tournaments, and superhero films. This all, of course, led to us officially becoming a couple, and the rest is history. My parents are also in love with her, which is honestly the cherry on top. It's nice to see my parents being so welcoming towards my girlfriend, although they've gotten a little protective towards her, like parents. I plan to propose to my girlfriend later this year, as we always joke about getting married, having a weird geeky wedding, and starting a family, and I really want that so much. So, proposing to her is my main goal for 2022. Fingers crossed she says yes. I really hope so. Now, this is where my friends come in. I have 3 close friends of mine, friends I grew up with since elementary school. We all split up a few months after high school. They left for another city for college, so right now we all either just talk through Zoom chat or I go visit them once in a while. I decided to stay in the city I'm in and be close to my family and my girlfriend. Well, I told my friends that I plan to propose to my girlfriend, that I believe I'm 100% ready to start a family with her, and how excited I am to see how it goes. They kept asking if I was serious, even calling me a DMBSS. They really were going at it with me quite roughly. I just figured they hated the idea of marriage, so I ignored their comments. That's when they told me the truth, and holy SHT, the proof they had made it even worse. They all said they met my girlfriend 8 years ago at midnight bowling. They met her through a friend of theirs who invited her that night. I don't know this other friend at all, so I can't say who it is. That's how they all met. They thought she was hot and cool, so they stayed in contact with her after that. My friends still continued hanging out with my girlfriend, smoking WD, playing video games, watching anime, and of course having love. They told me they'd pass her around the group for fun, and that's practically why they were friends with her. They kept using the word SLT, which crawled into my skin in such a negative way. So pretty much, they just kept my girlfriend around for 20. All 3 of my close friends have slept with her plenty of times. This lasted a good portion of high school, but of course, I didn't know my girlfriend at this time because she attended another high school. They decided they'd introduce her to me because they wanted to see if I could also get lucky. It was all a joke to see if I could also end up having love with her. I didn't believe any of it, but my heart completely shattered when they showed proof from Instagram messages. It was nothing inappropriate like pictures or anything, they just showed me that they all indeed kept in contact with her in the past. And you know what they did? They made me the dumb guy and made all this a joke. They said I'm a DMBSS for dating her and that I should have known better. They didn't expect me to date her at all. They thought my girlfriend was going to act slutty towards her, but they were surprised she didn't. How the HLL am I supposed to have known better? Friends introducing friends to a boy or girl is a normal thing. That's how I interpreted all of this. Also, I had no idea about their history with my girlfriend, so their saying I should have known better is ridiculous. I didn't see my girlfriend as a 20 object like them. I saw her as a friend that I ended up falling in love with. She treated me very kindly, comforted me whenever I was sad, and told me how much she loved me. We fell for each other, it wasn't just about 20. The only reason my friends told me this was because they think me getting married to her is too far, so they expected me to know the truth, which would lead to me dumping her. She's too much of a SLT, man. Just let her go, one of my friends said. I just got off the chat, and they've been sending me non-stop texts ever since. I haven't replied. I don't feel like talking to my friends at the moment. I did peek at a few messages out of curiosity, and instead of apologies, I just got a lot of "dude, get checked, bro. You might have caught something." It wasn't even serious, it was in a jokey manner, which is annoying. I approached my girlfriend about this as politely as humanly possible, and I instantly regretted it. She broke down completely, which I'll admit kind of teared me up. I've never seen her panic so much. She was freaking out as if someone had died. She kept apologizing, telling me she never slept with anyone else while with me and saying she didn't know about the joke my friends were doing. She told me my friends simply invited her to hang out, and during the hangout, they introduced her to me. That's how it all went. She says she wasn't aware of a plan or anything. You probably think I'm a SLT, right? That was what she kept saying, which just hurt me to hear. She told me she loved me and that I should please just ignore my friends and not break up with her. I just told her I loved her as well and that what I know doesn't change my feelings towards her. She still thinks I'm going to break up with her, which I won't ever do. I just kept her in my arms, that's all I could do. I didn't want her panicking, so I just comforted her. I've been with this incredible girl for 4 years, creating beautiful memories with her, and I'm not going to let what my friends have said to me ruin what I have with her. The reason my girlfriend didn't tell me earlier was because she cherished our relationship from the moment we met. She didn't want to hurt me, and I understand completely. She says I treated her kindly, like a human being, and she appreciated that. We connected because of our similarities, and she felt more comfortable with me compared to my friends. She was afraid that if I knew the truth, I wouldn't have considered being with her in the first place. My girlfriend thought I was going to think of her as a SLT, which I absolutely would never have done. It was obvious she felt guilty, but I told her she didn't do anything wrong, that her past was her business, and that I still love her very much. I'm not mad at my girlfriend. Why should I be mad? She didn't do anything wrong. Her past is her past, and it's not my business. Who she sleeps with is none of my concern. My feelings towards her haven't changed. I love her with all my heart, and I always will. I'm mad at my so-called friends because, 1, they're taking all of this as a joke, speaking awfully of my girlfriend, and 2, this all started as a little joke between them. They didn't have good intentions when they introduced me to my girlfriend. They simply passed her to me, thinking I was going to treat her like a toy or a piece of meat. I'm just shocked. That's who I am. This whole thing has been mentally stressing me out, and I wish I didn't know about it. I love my girlfriend, but I'll admit that the thought of her with my friends hurts me. I've cut all contact with my friends these past couple of days. I've been ignoring their calls and texts, and there's a ton of them. I just don't know what to do. I really don't. Also, the thought of my girlfriend immediately having love with my friends kind of bugs me because she and I took it slow. Maybe she did care about me compared to my friends and didn't want to hop straight into 20. I also think this because even my friends said she didn't act slutty towards me and that she actually cared about me. You see, these are the STPD thoughts I'm getting in my head, and I hate them. I'm personally still going to propose to my girlfriend. I'm not leaving her. I plan to cut contact with my friends and simply focus on my future. If any of you have any advice to share, I'll greatly appreciate it. I definitely need to relax my mind, that's for sure. Update and info 1. Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really great. I'll be posting more updates here, so I hope you all stick around. I wanted to say wow, it's been absolutely interesting to see how different all your opinions are on this situation. I want to thank all of you. Many of your comments really helped me greatly, and I appreciate them so much. You're all insanely amazing people. If I could invite you all to the wedding, I absolutely would. It'd be amazing to have you all there. My girlfriend and I are doing well. She's still quite upset about what my friends did, but that's perfectly understandable. I've been comforting her, letting her know I'm not going anywhere and that I won't be breaking up with her at all. I love her with all my heart, and I've been letting her know that constantly during all this. I want her to feel loved and appreciated because her past being brought up suddenly definitely gave her a shock. I want her to feel loved. That's exactly what I'm doing. My friends are still trying to contact me, but they've also tried contacting my girlfriend. She has no plans to speak to them, even though she's actually cut contact with them since they left for college. I hadn't opened my messages, she hadn't opened hers. There's something I do want to quickly talk about, though. I saw a few comments that said my girlfriend may have slept with my friends while being with me. I want to start by saying that my girlfriend actually removed all of them from her social media when they left for college. Her reason for removing them was because she didn't see them as friends anymore. I didn't push her for more explanations. I just left it at that. Every time I went to visit my friends in another city, she'd never go with me. She never wanted to. She simply didn't want to hang out with them. She'd always stay with her mother for the weekend when I'd leave to go visit. Again, I never pushed for explanations. She simply told me she didn't want to hang out with them and that they had all drifted apart since high school. I understood that, as we all tend to drift apart from friends we had in high school. Of course, now we all know the truth about why she didn't want to be near them. Also, for the people that are telling me why she didn't tell me the truth, do you really think it could be that easy for her? I can completely understand why she didn't tell me. I 100% understand she didn't tell me because she was worried I'd immediately judge her and I'd immediately see her as a SLT. She wanted me to get to know the real her, and I absolutely understand that. She didn't want to just have love with me, she wanted something real. That's why she didn't tell me. Lastly, I see comments asking why I was even friends with those guys. It's actually an interesting little story. My parents are friends with all their parents. They all went to school together when they were younger. In fact, at the same high school we went to, all our parents went to the same school. The only reason I became friends with those guys was because all our parents still kept in contact, so they brought us together. That's how we met. We met very little at BBQs and parties and stayed close friends for all these years. Update 2, hey there, I hope you're all doing great. Tomorrow, my girlfriend and I will be speaking to my parents. There are some things we need to let them know. As I said in my previous update, my parents are friends with my ex-friend's parents, so we plan to tell my parents the situation before my friends try to twist the story in any way. I have 100% cut contact with my friends, and I don't need them in my life. Eventually, my parents will ask why I haven't met with him, so it's best to be straightforward. My girlfriend is absolutely comfortable speaking to my parents, especially since they treat her as family. Hopefully, everything goes well. I'll be posting more updates soon. It's already night here, so I won't be posting till tomorrow. Hopefully, you'll stick around. Many of you want updates, and I don't want to leave you all hanging, but for now, it's time to sleep. Good night, everyone. I hope you all sleep well and have a great night. Update 3, I'll be posting update 3 very soon. I'm sorry I couldn't post it yesterday. I got a little busy. So much has happened since the last time I updated, and I definitely want to share that with you all. Update 3 continued, sorry for the wait. This weekend got a little busy. I'll be using fake names from here on out so I don't have to constantly say my girlfriend and I. Here's the rest of Update 3, Friday, August 12th. Sarah and I decided to speak to my parents about everything that has happened. I saw a few comments saying it wasn't a good idea to tell my parents, but we believed it was the right thing to do. We're both worried my ex-friends would try to change up the story, so we decided to approach my parents about this. Like I said in my post, my parents treat my girlfriend like family, especially my dad, who's very protective. Wow, it went pretty well. Telling them went much better than we expected. We were both super nervous to even bring it up, but my parents were very supportive and listened to what we had to say. Sarah didn't go into too much personal detail. She said that she has a history with my ex-friends that she wasn't proud of. My parents aren't dumb. They definitely understood what she meant but didn't pressure her to say anything she didn't want to. We told them we were worried about my ex-friends saying anything first, possibly changing up the story to make Sarah look bad. My parents really appreciated that we spoke to them about this. They knew something like this would be tough to talk about. My dad, of course, was in protective mode, asking Sarah if she wasn't hurt physically, but she insisted to him that she was okay. My dad works with one of the dads of my ex-friends, so I told him not to bring anything up right now. I did tell him to be on the lookout if any of my ex-friends' dads end up mentioning anything. That'll show us if my friends actually did bring it up already. My dad said he'll definitely be looking out if he hears anything. He's being very supportive about all of this. Eventually, we'll want my friends' parents to know about the situation if things get messy, but we're a little worried about how they'll react. Overall, all of this went very well, and it made me, especially Sarah, very comfortable and more relaxed. Second story. My sister moved into my house and openly flirted with my boyfriend, trying to stick him while stalking him. My deadbeat parents revealed they had kicked her out for the same reason, flirting with my cousin's boyfriend. When I asked her to stop, she arrogantly told me to F off, so I kicked her out. Now she blames me for ruining her love and life. I live with said sister. She started college this summer, and my parents asked if she could live with me because, 1, she was going to school in the same city that I work in, and 2, I was looking for a roommate anyway. We're not that close, and I'm not a big fan of my parents, but I agreed because it seemed like a way to get us closer, and she wouldn't be able to afford an apartment on her own. Every time I bring my boyfriend over to the apartment, and we hang out in the common areas, cooking dinner or watching Netflix in the living room, my sister, Hannah, deliberately seems to hang out only in her underwear. Sometimes she will blatantly walk into our line of sight in her thong and tank top. My boyfriend of 3 years handles it like a champ and looks elsewhere. I have explicitly told Hannah it's inappropriate to be walking around in her underwear with company over. She never does this to anyone but him and needs to cut it out. She says he's like family, so he shouldn't care, and she just wants to be comfortable in her own space. Whenever we go into my bedroom, she will find excuses to knock, barge in, or otherwise interrupt. She'll complain that she's lonely and wants the three of us to hang out, but only has this desire when she sees that we've gone into my bedroom. She'll make excuses as to why she needs one of us right now. One time she asked him to go into her room to kill a spider. I've told her to leave us alone when we go in there, but she doesn't listen. He's told me that when I'm not around, in the bathroom or doing something else out of earshot, Hannah will come into the room and try to initiate all sorts of casual talk about love with him. What's your favorite position? Mine's X. Or I bet all the girls were after you before you met up. How many girls have you hooked up with? The boys in my school always wanted to hook up with me. She will try to model outfits and ask if he thinks she looks hot. According to him, he either flat out ignores her or says he is not interested in talking about this with her. Finally, I went into her room the other day to retrieve my makeup and perfume, which she keeps selling, and saw her Facebook was open on her laptop. I noticed that one of the chats had pictures of my boyfriend in it, which is why I read it. She was chatting with her best friend, and the conversation was, "Hannah, OMG, he's coming over today. Friend, want to come with me to the mall? I have to buy something sexy." Hannah, OMG, you crazy girl, isn't he an old SS? LOL. Friend, WTF lol. 24 isn't old. He's so effing sexy. OMG, I have to show you his pictures. She then proceeded to share pictures of my boyfriend. These were not pictures from Facebook but candid pictures of him that he clearly wasn't aware were being taken, standing in our kitchen, napping on the couch, and even one of them on the street like some kind of crazy stalker. I told him about all of this, and ever since then, we have been together exclusively at his apartment, and I've been staying over. Ultimately, it's much nicer for us to have privacy, but I'm sad that I have to cede my apartment to my teen sister because she has no respect for boundaries and apparently just wants to sleep with my boyfriend. I also feel like she is way too old for this shit. She's 18, not 15. I have no idea what to do here. I want to chew her out, but I've chewed her out over this in the past, and apparently, it did nothing. I'm at the end of my rope with her. If she wasn't my sister living in a new city, I would have kicked her out by now. As it is, I don't know if I should give her a warning, talk to my parents about it, but I know they will take her side. It is part of the reason why we aren't close, or confront her with my boyfriend and have him tell her in no uncertain terms that it will never happen. Moving out isn't an option. I have a lease until next year, and I will not lose money and move out of my apartment because my sister can't control herself. She wouldn't be able to afford the apartment on her own anyway and would have to move out in the end too. TLDR, my sister is crazy thirsty for my boyfriend, and I have irrefutable proof. I don't know how to proceed from here. Update. TBR was that my sister flounces around in her pants and regularly tries to engage with my boyfriend, whether I'm around or not. It's extremely disrespectful and annoying, and I'm sick of it. Thank you to everyone who responded to my last post. Even though I was seriously pissed off, as I'm sure you could tell, I carefully read each comment and thought about it. Thank you all for your advice. Out of the three main options, talk to my parents, confront my sister, or have my boyfriend shut her down, I decided to take two. I contacted my parents first, which was very difficult for me, and told them about what had been going on and that I was going to kick my sister out. I said it in a no arguments way, just a statement of fact that her behavior was completely unacceptable and that I had given her many chances to talk to her about it. I said I was telling them first, so my kicking her out wouldn't come out of the blue for them, and they could help her find someplace else to live if they wanted to. I did not send the screenshots of her Facebook conversation because, 1, I never took the screenshots, and 2, I didn't feel any need to prove anything to them. It really felt like my decision whether they believed me or not. To my surprise, my parents actually believed my side of the story, though not for the reasons you would think. There had apparently been an incident at a recent family reunion that I didn't know about because I'd been unable to go. Our close cousin, B, who is 1 year older than me, brought her boyfriend to our annual family reunion to introduce him to everyone for the first time. Apparently, Hannah shamelessly and openly flirted with B's boyfriend in front of everybody, in front of B, in front of our parents, in front of B's parents, all of our aunts and uncles. I don't know exactly what Hannah did, but according to B, who I asked about it after, she was very obvious about it, trying to touch him a lot and sitting next to him whenever B got up to go somewhere else, etc. It was just very obvious. Everyone witnessed it, and it was the gossip of the family for that entire day. My aunt and uncle, B's parents, were DSGSTD with her behavior and judged my parents for allowing Hannah to behave that way. All of a sudden, my parents cared about what she was doing because now it was affecting their reputation with the family, the most important thing to them. So, apparently, they were pissed at her for what had happened and had taken her car away for a few months prior to her coming to live here. My parents don't want anything to endanger my relationship with my boyfriend because they consider him to be a catch, white, handsome, going to law school, and want us to get married and have smart babies, so they don't want Hannah to ruin that. My parents said they would talk to Hannah and BT it into her head that she could no longer act that way and that she was close to effing up her living situation and our relationship. They begged me to give her a second chance and to give her time to change once they talked to her. I told them I'd think about it, but once we hung up, I decided I didn't trust them to actually talk to her, call it 18 years of experience. Well, whether they talked to her or didn't, the very next day, Hannah posted something on her Facebook to the tune of "Sometimes you can't let other people get in the way of love." So I sat her down and decided to have a talk with her myself. I told Hannah that if she didn't cut out her behavior immediately, I was going to kick her out. I told her that I knew about everything and that it sickened me that she would not only disrespect me by trying to my boyfriend but that she would freely backstab her own sister just to get with a guy. I told her that it made me feel disgusted knowing that she had a childish infatuation with my boyfriend, but that even if she did have feelings she couldn't help, she needed to learn how to control them like an adult and respect me, my relationship, and my home. Hannah mouthed off and said that my boyfriend was going to leave me anyway because I didn't put enough effort into looking good for him. I don't wear makeup every day, only on special occasions or on dates when I want to look nice for him, and my clothes are pretty plain. She said there were dozens of women in the city that could catch his eye. Then she said that she didn't have to listen to me. "F you, you're not that much older than me, you're not my mom," she said, word for word. "I'm not a kid anymore. I can do whatever the F I want." Surprisingly, I kept my cool and told her that it was true there were adult consequences to her actions, which could range from getting kicked out and having to move back home to getting her RS beat. She was in the real world and couldn't get away with her SHT anymore. She said I couldn't kick her out because it was illegal and that she could do whatever she wanted. Doing whatever she wanted meant being herself around my boyfriend. So, I told her that she had 30 days to evict the apartment. She stormed off. I contacted the landlord and made sure that everything was square. She's not on the lease, so they didn't give a shit. I told my parents that it was final and my sister had to be out of the apartment by the end of the month. They didn't say much and seemed stunned that she would suddenly act this way. They think the influence of the big city is causing her to act out. Whatever. I chose not to involve my boyfriend further because several people said that this was between us, me and Hannah, and they were right. I don't want him to feel unnecessarily uncomfortable or forced to do something he doesn't want to do. Though he has voluntarily offered to talk to Hannah and shut her down in the past, I personally don't think it would do much to stop her anyway given her reaction to my little lecture, so I left him out of it. I am getting a small nanum to monitor the apartment while I'm away, however, to make sure, 1. Hannah doesn't break anything and, 2. To protect myself and my boyfriend in case she decides to make any false accusations against either one of us. At this point, I wouldn't put it past her. I seriously have to wonder if my sister is just a huge effing BTCH as a result of being hopelessly spoiled or if there is something going on with her. I really don't know, but I'm fed up with her acting this way when I did her a favor by letting her live with me. So that's that. Hopefully, I don't have to update again and she moves out peacefully. Thanks to all for listening to my rant. TLDR, I called my parents. They believed me about Hannah due to some past behavior but begged me to give her another chance. I talked to her, and she blatantly told me to FCK off. I'm not giving her a second chance. She has 30 days to move out, and I'm getting an annum to protect myself, my belongings, and my boyfriend. I don't know what the FCK is wrong with her, honestly. Edit. So far, I haven't heard from Hannah herself because I've been at my boyfriend's pad, but my parents tell me that she will be out of the apartment by the end of the week. Her Facebook is a whiny, crying SHT storm of life is not fair, no one understands me, you can't effing trust anybody, not even family, and my life is ruined. I have hidden her from my feed, and I am going to watch anime with my boyfriend. I have already served her formal eviction papers as of today. Thank you all for your suggestions. Also, some people seem very upset that I alluded to my parents thinking my boyfriend is a catch because he is white, to the point where I'm getting very redundant PMs about it. Let me be clear, I am not white, I am Asian. However, I do not hold my Asian parents' viewpoint. My boyfriend's race does not matter to me. I think he's a catch, but not for those reasons, and I love him for who he is. My parents are old-school racist Asian people who objectify people, including their children, and reduce them to basic, simple attributes that are categorized into approved and disapproved. A strong, handsome white dude happens to fall into their category of yeah. They also think I'll never do any better than him. So, all in all, it's a pretty fed-up way of thinking for both sides. You can see why I don't talk to them much. I never condone this attitude and am fully aware of how racist it is, but there's nothing I can do about how they and a large aspect of the culture they come from view the world. I'm quite tired of people getting worked up about that one comment and thinking that I subscribe to that line of thinking. I do not. Thank you. Third story, my wife cheated on me with her coworker, lied about everything, backed up by her friend, then tried gaslighting and blaming me for not trusting her. Now she is begging me to reconcile and give her a second chance, claiming it's her first time. So, last night, my wife said she was going out for drinks with her coworker Kim after work. I was snowboarding and got home early, so I asked if she wanted me to come out and grab a drink with them. She said no, saying that she wanted a girls' night out. Okay, cool. After a few hours, she texted me that she would be home soon. She never told me where she was going, just that it was a bar near her work. Her job is 12 minutes away, so after 30 minutes, I text her asking if she wants a ride, and I don't get any response. This is super weird. We always stay in contact, and she's never ignored me like this, so I'm worried that she got into an accident on the way home. Finally, she calls back and says she is out having a smoke and about to drive home, but I can clearly hear she's drunk. So, I tell her I'll come pick her up and go get in the car. She said she would text me where she was going to get her. After waiting for a location pin for too long, I called again, and she told me she would drive herself home, that she was fine, that she was in the car, and that she would see me in 15 minutes. This is around 9:30. She ignored me for another hour and accidentally called me, giggling, and I could hear what sounded like her trying to figure out how to get her car in reverse. Then she hung up. I'm freaking out at this point, worried beyond belief that she will get into an accident or end up with a DUI. Kim, who she said she was with, drove home drunk from her company's holiday party last month, and I've known women like her before and didn't trust her to safely get herself or anyone else home. She finally texted me that she was on her way home at midnight after ignoring my calls and texts for hours. When she got home, I was so mad that I didn't want to talk to her and asked her to go to bed. Before she did, she very drunkenly apologized and said I was right over and over again. She is normally not very apologetic, so that was odd. At about 1:30, I was trying to sleep after having a terrible night home alone, worried about my wife, and her phone started getting texts. We don't have friends or family that would ever text at 1:30 in the morning. I look at her phone, and it's from her coworker Mike. When I grab her phone and open it, she freaks out and grabs it from me. But not before I can see that there are 4 texts in this thread, 2 from him, 1 response from her, and another from him, all flirty, and it made no sense to start when they did. I'm freaking out now, asking what the HLL this is, and she grabs the phone and runs away, accusing me of not trusting her and stuff like that. I keep asking to see her phone, asking why she was texting Mike, and what those texts were. She gives me the phone, and the entire thread is deleted. I lock myself in our room, tell her to sleep on the couch, and go to bed sobbing. In the morning, I asked her to tell me everything, just don't lie, and she proceeded to lie. She said she didn't remember anything she texted. After refusing to tell me anything and just apologizing, she finally gave me her phone. I called her coworker Kim and asked what happened last night when she left and if there was anything she could tell me because I think my wife may have cheated on me. Kim said she was with her all night. They played pool, had a couple of beers, and she has no idea when they went home, but she didn't go home with anyone. I even tried to call Mike, the guy with the deleted text thread, and he just said nobody did anything wrong, nothing happened, they just had a beer and played some pool. Luckily, the iPhone has recovered text for the last 30 days. She didn't know. I found out that Kim didn't even go out last night. She texted my wife at 6, saying she wasn't going to make it. The texts my wife and Mike have are only 30 days old, but they're clearly longer. They are all flirty, they have dreams about each other, and she wants him to use his imagination, that kind of shit. When I asked Kim why she lied for my wife, she just started gaslighting me. I'm not super surprised since she's 60 and has been through 3 marriages, but I did like her the time we met and hoped she would be of some help. So now my wife has lied to me, her coworkers are lying for her, and I can't trust anything she says. When I asked for her to tell me everything, she told me everything I already knew. When I told her that, she said this is the first and only time she's ever done anything like this. She said they only hugged. One of the texts she sent him said, "I really want to hug you now. I don't know what to do. I don't know how I can trust her again. I don't know if she physically cheated on me as well as this emotional cheating, and I'm not sure if it matters. Over the years, she has accused me of cheating when I clearly haven't and never would, and now I'm wondering if all those times she was just projecting." Sorry for the long post, but I'm glad I at least typed this out. I would really like some advice from people who've been emotionally cheated on. Please help me understand what I should do from here. We've been together for almost 8 years, and I can't imagine I've actually wasted all this time with someone who would hurt me this badly. TLDR, my wife texted another man she works with, lied to me, deleted the entire thread, had a coworker lie to her that she wasn't with the man she was texting, and swears she didn't cheat on me. How can I trust her? Has therapy ever worked for anyone in this kind of situation? Edit, I just want to thank everyone. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with, and that's unbelievable. Honestly, my life has been pretty F from the jump, so I didn't even know I could be this hurt anymore. But even though I'm far away from my friend and my family, which is not a support system of any kind, actually the opposite. You all have truly helped me through these horrible New Years. I don't know what I'm going to do right now. The best advice I can take at the moment is to take some time for myself. Her family overseas will not let her do anything to hurt me. They care and have always treated me better than my own family. Part of the reason I fell in love with her is that she gave me a family that I didn't even know I was lacking. We have both done F-up things and fought over the years, but we always trusted each other. We always knew what the other was capable of. Now I'm grappling with the fact that I was wrong about her, and she is well, she insists that I know everything, and I understand that's unknowable. But over the next week, I'll decide what I'm capable of, if it's forgiveness and reconciliation or if I try to rebuild alone. Either way, I'm sure whatever I decide, I will need help trusting anyone in my life again, so I will get that help. She is staying at a motel, and at the end of the week, she will accept whatever decision I make, whether that is to stay or fly away. Also, she has seen this thread and read every reply, and she agrees with the majority that she is a cheater and that she is solely responsible for throwing our lives away. And it is insane, but it hurts to see her in pain. Love is mind-bogglingly powerful. I only expected at most 5 replies, but this show of support has truly helped me through these horrible 40 hours I've had to experience. I'll try to do a proper update when I know where everything lands. Thank you again, and Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for watching the video. If you are interested in listening to these kinds of stories, we've got more in store for you.